7 p.m. Crystal, would you like to do the roll?
Yes. Mayor Moss is absent. Councilmember Eric Contreras, present. Councilmember Van Sant, present. Councilmember Rundenbaum, present. Mayor Pro Tem Leah Young is present. Councilmember Nathan Kreml, present.
All right, the first item that we will have is public comments. And our first speaker will be Tim Mendolia. You can take your place over here in 3 minutes.
Good evening. Those of you who don't know me already, my name's Tim Mendolia. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 4, in the upcoming Republican primary, which voting is March 1. Early voting is February 14th through the 25th. I believe I have a unique combination of legal and managerial skills, a track record of community service, and a strong Christian conservative background, which sets me apart from the other candidates in this race for Precinct 4 JP. I've lived in Parker County for 40 of my 54 years, in Precinct 4 for the past 18 years, where I've raised with my wife and where we've raised our children. I practiced law in and around Parker County for 27 years of my practice. I practice in justice courts, county courts, district courts, and appellate courts in the state of Texas. I've also practiced in the U.S. federal district courts of eastern, southern, and western districts, both in criminal and civil dockets. I started my law firm just 6 months after graduating law school. Went out on my own as a solo practitioner, and so I've managed that law firm from the beginning. We grew to as much as 12 lawyers and 30 employees with 4 different offices across the state at one point. We've culled it down much since then, but I moved my office to Willow Park in 2005. Practiced there for 12 years before crossing the highway and moving to Aledo and buying a building. And we've continued to practice there since 2017. Since moving to Precinct 4 in 2003 with my family, I've been extremely active in youth sports activities, where I've been a coach, board member for many different youth organizations within Parker County. I also owned my own baseball organization, and that's one of my proudest deals. Is I've been extremely blessed and extremely proud to have coached over 50 baseball and football players that have gone on to play in college, and baseball players, some of them are in the pro ranks right now. As I've slowed the youth involvement with my kids getting older, I've focused my time community service-wide as a board member of the Business Development Group of Aledo. I'm currently president of that. I'm also a member of the board's foundation. We raise funds for youth organizations throughout Parker County. Last year, we gave away $55,000 that we raised, and we do it through one event, which is a clay shoot every year. We gave away $55,000. We gave 10 to Aledo FFA, 10,000 to Weatherford FFA, and 10,000 to Brock FFA. And we've kind of found a niche with the FFAs, being that they don't get the money and the deal as the sports activities do. So we've kind of really focused on them and helped them a lot. This year, in fact, we're running at the Clay Shoot, the Friday night event, where we have a live auction. We're actually having a competition between 5 different Parker County FFAs, where they're building a fire pit, and then we're going to auction that off. And the winner of that is going to get $5,000 from us for winning that contest. So I'm very proud of our accomplishments with the Business Development Group. But I've always had an affinity for small claims courts, kind of the people's court, and I believe that I would do a fine job in being a part of that process. In fact, I try to push clients with small claims right now, go try your hand there before spending the money on attorney's fees. So between that and going to law school at Baylor Law School, where you're forced to go to a course called practice court, where you have to either try a case, it's an afternoon kind of lab where you're trying cases, you're sitting on a jury, you're being a judge, So you have to be a part of that process. So, having that experience of being a judge in those classes, and it was a very big learning experience. And then through the process of practicing for 27 years now, I've just appreciated the role of the judge in the process. So with all that combined, I feel like I'm a good candidate, and I appreciate your time tonight, and I hope I can earn your vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next public comment will come from Allison Bador. Again.
Thank you. I was here last time and introduced myself, and I'm not going to give you my spiel because on behalf of the Park County Republican Women, which I'm a board member of, we are having our candidate forum this Thursday at the Doss Heritage Center at 6 o'clock. It's a great opportunity to hear from all of the county candidates, but also Senate District and state reps as well. And not only will we be giving time for 3-minute speeches, but also there'll be questions. So it's a little different than the first forum. So I hope everyone could come out. It is open to anyone, so please invite everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next item is on the consent agenda to approve city council meeting minutes for regular meetings on December 14th, 2021, and January 11th, 2022. Do we have any discussion? Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's do the minutes and then we'll do the pledge.
Yes, do we, sorry.
Yeah, do the minutes, we'll do the pledge.
Do we have any discussion on the minutes?
No.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Thank you. All right, let's stand. And Mr. Contreras, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, the first item on our regular agenda is to consider and act on the annual racial profiling report. Captain Franklin?
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, what you have in your packet is the racial profiling report. Basically, every year, the police department is required to do a racial profiling report based on the traffic stops that we gain the information from. We're required to present it to the governing body and to TCOL. This is the report that we submitted. It is basically an analysis that was completed. The data was compiled, and it basically just shows that there were no reported or any observed instances of racial profiling in Willow Park. And I'll be happy to answer any questions or try to clarify anything that you need to know.
Any questions for Captain Franklin?
This relates only to the Willow Park PD, so if like a state trooper or somebody.
It's Willow Park
gonna be
only, yes.
Okay.
You need us to take action to accept the report, is that correct?
Yes, just to submit the report, that's all we need.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the racial profiling report as presented.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is discussion and action, an update on municipal court. Judge Gant.
Mayor Pro Tem and council members, good evening.
Good evening.
You've been provided several reports concerning caseloads, revenue, and dispositions that in the interest of time constraints, we won't go over tonight, but we're at your disposal if you have any questions on these items that are in your packet. Since some of you are newer, I haven't met you, haven't been to council in a few years, just to update you on the mission of the court is to provide fair and equitable justice for all members of the public who appear on court business. We're staffed with one judge, me, who is an appointed state official. And as of the first of the year, we have one paid employee, which is Michelle, Municipal Court Administrator. As the only court in Texas state courts hierarchy that does collect revenue, it becomes easy to look to the court for revenue. However, revenue in municipal court is just a positive byproduct of dispensing justice. We share jurisdiction over Class C and has granted us the ability to find those cases that are multiple years past due and even those cases the state deems uncollectible. The new software has also allowed us the ability to enhance processes through our website. It's also given us the ability to send mass text messages to defendants the day before court, which Michelle began doing in August and resulted in fewer no-shows. In fact, we had a standing room only docket, the first docket she did that. Where do I go here? We are aggressively working on no-shows. In fact, in 2021, we had 868 cases set on show cause dockets. And show cause dockets are for those people who have not made an appearance on their case. Our operation was recently moved to the Public Safety Building, giving us greater security in our working environment, and we thank you for that. However, we are working on ways to address the public's perception of the court's neutrality being located in the Public Safety Building. Our staff was also reduced from 2 to 1, adding to the workload on both Michelle and my position. Tomorrow, we'll be having our first in-person docket in the Public Safety Training Room, and we invite and encourage council and city management and the public to attend for observation and to better understand our function. We have a virtual docket at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and then the attorney docket at 11, and from 1 o'clock on, we have a docket every hour. Are there any questions?
I got a question. I don't recall reading, I apologize, this is probably in your report, but uncollected fines, where do we stand on that? And what's the backlog on that?
On uncollected fines?
Uh-huh.
I need to go back. You have in your report, there, in your packet, there's a report that has a breakout of 15-year, 10-year, and 5-year cases.
Uh-huh.
And I need to go back actually and redo that because it's come to my attention what I left out of on processing that report is if people have not entered a plea on their case, the city can't consider that as uncollected revenue. So I need to go back and look at that. But we do have cases, we have almost 1,000 cases that are over 15 years old in the system, which we are, with the state's approval, we're allowed to get rid of. And we have a motion from our prosecutor to do that. So we'll be doing that very soon and getting those off our books. We probably will even go sooner or come back even up to 10 years, but we have to get permission from OCA to do that. Basically, uncollectible over 5 years, people are so, they move around. It's very hard to stay up with people. So, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I'll go back and review, but sure. Thank you.
Do we need action? You have discussion and action in the agenda. Do we need any action or discussion
Just-
only then? So,
Yeah, you don't, the CA doesn't need the council to accept your report, correct?
okay, thank you.
There's
Thank
just
you.
no action taken.
Okay. No action
Thank you,
taken.
thank you, Judge. And good luck tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. We're set up, we went over today, we put our black tablecloths, we don't need to borrow the flags.
Okay, I was gonna, I want to just brag on Michelle and Carol for a moment. In the, trying to maximize the space here, we moved them to the public safety building, as we mentioned before. We're doing a little bit of improvement, as Carol mentioned, to make it as neutral as possible. There was a closet or the server room, whatever you want to call it, that we kind of cut out. That's going to be Michelle's office. I was over there today. It's bigger than her office that she had here.
I told them I just needed that one little.
We did a little cutout window. We'll put court on over there, so when someone walks in, they don't have to go see the police department. They can go straight to the court. And I'm going to try to swing over there for the 2 o'clock docket, maybe the 3 o'clock. I got a meeting with finance, but I'm going to try to catch a docket tomorrow afternoon. I don't need to see the virtual thing.
It's kind of like a game of celebrity screw one.
All right, the next item on the agenda is to approve a resolution appointing a capital improvement advisory committee and appointing an ETJ representative.
Council, the impact fees, and this is water and wastewater impact fees. And by state law, we must update every 5 years. We must look at this and to determine what that impact fee will be. And Derek Turner is preparing a capital improvements plan right now. Will be probably April or May. Is that what we decided, Derek? First part of April. But part of the first process is to appoint a board, very similar to the way you did the stormwater impact fees. In fact, we're going to use the same board. The only difference here is that since we charge impact fees in the ETJ, we must have an ETJ representative. And so that's what we're here tonight, to pass a resolution to appoint the P&Z board and add Randy L. Pack as the ETJ representative. They will not be a P&Z board at that time. They will be an improvement advisory, capital improvement advisory board. So we're asking you to appoint the names of the ones in the resolution.
So my question, the resolution states the individual names of the planning and zoning members, and it's required to be that, not the positions?
Correct.
So that anytime we have a new appointment, we'll have to update this committee? And this, okay.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. Just checking, that seemed. So,
I agree.
any other questions for Bill on this? Do I have a motion? Read the resolution. Okay.
Do we have a resolution number?
No.
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 You can move to approve the resolution and to appoint Randy L. Pack as the ETJ representative.
Now, the one name, you did remove it from the resolution?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
Well,
We
not
had
the one
we
in
had
their
Joe
packet
Lane
because
in
they
there.
already
Joe
have
Lane's
it.
no longer on P&Z.
Yes.
Right.
So his name's from the resolution.
A suggested motion, council, would be, I move that the city council appoint the current planning and zoning commission and add Randy L. Pack as the ETJ representative to serve as the capital improvements advisory committee.
Can we just move to?
Yes.
As read,
Is that been
as
said?
stated, as eloquently stated?
Is that a motion, Tyler?
That's a motion.
A motion.
I motion
We
to
have a motion. Do I have a
approve that
second?
as read by.
Greg, were you the second?
I second, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? Motion passes. All right, the next item is discussion action to adopt an amendment to ordinance number 848-22, ordering 2022 general election.
So after coming back from COVID, 10 days, I was reviewing the ordinance that we had passed at the January 11th meeting, and I called over to the county to see how much it was going to be in addition to what the original contract was, to add Willow Park City Hall as the election day voting place. They are unable to hold City Hall's unable to be a voting place on election day because the First Baptist Church, the county's already holding an election, and the First Baptist Church is a voting place, and it's too close in proximity. So we had to remove City Hall as the voting place for Election Day and place it with First Baptist. So that is the only change.
Okay.
And that is why we need to have it amended.
And it's First Baptist?
Yeah,
First Baptist.
First Baptist
Sure.
Royal Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we just moved to adopt the ordinance number, right?
You're going to move to adopt it, to amend ordinance number 84822, ordering the,
But we need to read the
Read
ordinance
the,
caption.
read the caption under the staff board.
Page 77.
Yeah. This one.
Does that help?
It's in the, on the staff memo. You can just read that caption right there.
It is.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adopt an ordinance amending ordinance number 848-22, ordering a general municipal election to be held on May 7th, 2022 for the purpose of electing council member for place number 3, a council member for place number 4, a council member for place number 5, designating a different polling place for election day within the municipal limits, appointing a presiding election judge, an alternate presiding election judge, establishing other procedures for the conduct of the election, providing a severability clause, providing for publication of notice, and providing for an effective date.
We have
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right, the last item on our agenda is to consider any future agenda items.
So what I have for the February 8th meeting is we'll have a public hearing on the wastewater treatment plant. We will also hear the rate study that's been conducted. There will be a presentation. You will not act on it that night. We just got a revised edition late this afternoon, so we're going to go over that internally. That's scheduled for February the 8th. Depending on what we find, we might need some clarification, but right now it's scheduled for the 8th. We do have some P&Z and some BOA appointment, what I call cleanup items that are coming out of P&Z for here. We'll have some various P&Z items as well. And finally, Jake Weber will be giving the first quarter financials.
alcohol policy.
Yes, two things. We're going to have an alcohol policy. There was some confusion about what was adopted a couple of years ago, so I think it's just more of a cleanup than anything else from what was, I think it was in 18 that we did this. And then Rose has a media policy that she's working with Pat on. There was some things that we're going to need to revise that she was advised at a conference, and so she and Pat are working together on that.
And the P&Z items include some of the ordinance updates that
Yes.
we've been working on.
Yeah.
So not just, so
Yeah.
that's where the ordinances will, okay. Any other requests or suggestions or needs for future agenda items? All right,
Brian, I didn't think you mentioned that there's going to be a public hearing for the.
Yes.
wastewater treatment.
Yes, yep.
That was the first thing he said, believe it or not. I wrote that one down. That one's important. All right, next we have our staff reports. Public Works Director, Michelle, if you would give us a update on water production and average daily uses.
Evening, council. So before y'all have tonight the 2021 produced water. This is actually what we pulled out of the wells, what we purchased from Fort Worth, what we purchased from Weatherford. And that's your very first chart there. As you can see, Brian was most interested in August compared to December. And you can see in August, our numbers was 42,152,000. In December, it was 19,508,000. So pretty big difference there.
Real
And
quick, this is why I'm interested in this, is because since the beginning of the year and going back to December, nobody has come in and complained about their water bill. So this is what they're using in their normal course of life, washing their clothes, taking showers, whatever. People will come in and complain about their water bills in the summertime. What we're showing council here, why am I talking about water bills in January, is I want you to remember this 4, 5, 6 months from now, when people are using, and I'm gonna just, me, I had no ideas until we got on the system. I use 5,000 gallons of water at my house. I don't know what Heather does when she starts to water the grass, but we're going up to like 15, 16, 17,000 gallons, and I don't got a big yard. So those are things that I'm telling you guys about now. So when you start hearing those complaints in the summertime, I can say, remember the meeting in January.
On that subject, are the automated or online access to our meter, water usage, is that available now?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is, all right.
Yeah, Rose and I are working on how to get it out to the people,
Okay,
so.
all right.
Yeah, if anybody is at home listening, the 6 people that are gonna watch on YouTube over the next 2 weeks, if you wanna get on a customer portal, simply call up here. We will put you on a customer portal. It will give you an hourly report of your water consumption. And it's like crack, because I get up every morning and I go back and I say, how much water did we use yesterday? And so I would highly encourage anybody who wants to get that information, call us, we'll set you up. I know that they're working on some sort of media rollout to do that.
So what, to get online, is it you have to proactively get online and
Yes,
fill out a
sir.
form? Is that what it is? Oh, okay,
Yeah, this one we can't do for you, so.
okay.
And so then, to make sense of this, guys, what I'm doing is I'm kind of changing how our month, instead of being like a regular January 1st through 31st, because since I'm now responsible for the billing as well, I'm changing, since we read on the 15th, it's easier for me, the numbers to line up on the 15th, so everything makes sense. So the numbers you see before you are gonna be the month before to the 15th of this month, and then that's what gets filled out. So it's actually helped me in the billing, but also just in the reporting process. So that's the reason the numbers look kind of weird, especially when you look at the average daily water use on the next chart, and you can see there, it goes way up in August.
1.3.
Yeah, 1.3 million in August on an average day.
What was our max production just from our wells that we could produce a day?
1.5.
1.5, so we
Yeah.
were 200,000 gallons.
You didn't have a lot of margin.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You could push 1.7.
You're pushing, and
Everything's working perfect.
there you go.
For
But our
20
capacity now, just so to remind everybody, is 5 million?
With Fort Worth, it'll be 5, yes,
Will be.
yes. When that storage tank is completed, it'll be 5 million.
And Derek will explain that in just a minute, where we stand on that.
All right.
And just because I like numbers, so on the second chart, I didn't even put it on the graph, not on the chart. That weird line that you're seeing there is actually the number of connections that we build each month. So you can see in the past year, we increased by 67 accounts.
Wow.
And I just did 5 more today, just so y'all are aware, so.
That was a slow year.
Hush, Brian. Hush.
All right.
Do y'all have any questions for me?
Any questions for Michelle? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next we have our city engineer, Derek Turner, for Preston with half, giving us a Fort Worth water update.
Thank you. And we have Preston here if there are any questions, but the water line project is much the same as we talked last time we had an update. The water lines are 100% installed. There's some testing on both the Willow Park to Hudson Oaks line under both contracts. The contractors that put in the Fort Worth to Willow Park did a small stretch of 16-inch between the pump station and the interstate. those will be tested later when the pump station comes online and we're able to push water into the line. As far as the pump station, we're waiting on delivery of the storage tank materials. We've got a couple of submittals that we're looking at on that, but the submittals for the structure itself have been sent back. As soon as those get back, they'll start erection on the storage tank. They're also waiting on delivery of the pumps and some of the automatic valves that are going to be installed. There's been a lot of discussion from Mila, the contractor, about delays on material deliveries, which is pretty much across the board in the industry. They think they have a plan in place to get the pumps in. It might push the startup a week or two, I believe. And as well as the valves. I think they've got it arranged now where they feel like they can get the valves in time to get the startup done. And that's all to meet the February, I believe it's, May 3rd completion date. But all of that is kind of subject to delivery times holding out as we currently think they will. But that's currently their thinking. It looks like we'll probably be very close, if not meeting that completion deadline. So in the event that did not happen, HAF has been talking with Fort Worth. You guys authorized them to discuss the option of keeping the temporary flow of water going in this coming summer. And I think they feel like that's a probability. And so we're keeping the temporary meter that was in place last summer or through October, I believe, in place, and the contractor is going to leave it in place until either it's needed or the pump station comes online. So are there any questions?
Any questions? All right, thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
All right, planning and development. Tony.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. The briefing sheet in your packet lists the changes since December in red so that you can see those. Since the production of this brief, we have scheduled 2 pre-construction meetings on the ambulatory surgery center and the district. So that is not updated on that sheet. And I did also put a map of where all of those locations are for all of that commercial development that's going on right now. That's at your seat, and I apologize that wasn't in the packet per council's request. And the attachment that's on there, that's in the back, that's premature. That's a preliminary plat that's coming to you next month for the TCA entrance. What that's doing is it's now lined up with Eagle to make a T intersection. So you'll be receiving that next month, but that's just a
We need it.
something for you to look at. Get that next month.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Do we have any idea when the hotel is going to open?
You want our assumption or theirs?
Okay, I mean, do they have a CO or are they?
They don't have a CO. I think the third or fourth floor that's still,
Third floor.
Third floor, okay.
me and Bill were in there, last week?
Yes.
They told us 2 weeks, but that it's going to be, I'd say at least 30 more days,
Okay.
at least.
Okay. Not 3 months. Possible. 3 months. Who knows, right? There's things that have to happen. All right. Thank you. Any other questions for Tony?
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and finally, we have an update on our fire department. Chief Lenore.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and citizens. Your fire department responded to 985 calls for services for 2021 year. Out of that, mutual aid received was 11.7%. Mutual aid given to other departments was 16.7%. I've provided you with a graph and kind of a breakdown of all the different call types. Kind of one to look at is the darker green. That was going to be 143 calls that we made. This is for emergency vehicle unlocks and non-emergency vehicle unlocks. We did 55 of those. we're the only fire department that does that service for our citizens. So you lock your keys in your car at 3 a.m., you call, we show up. We've had 1,581 hours of fire department level training. That's in addition to us going to Tarrant County College, doing our normal required training. This also includes the fire lab with the flashover simulator. It's open to anybody that wants to come see how hot it actually gets. It's pretty hot. At the time, Councilwoman Fennell came and experienced some of the heat, and it was pretty warm. Prevention department, with the COVID starting to fall off, we've done 157 on-site inspections, trying to pick those up some more. Out of all of the businesses that we have, the Willow Park Fire Department has all but one business Knox box compliant. So we're working on getting the last one compliant. So this Knox box compliant means we do very little damage when they call us for service. And it's specific to Willow Park Fire Department. This year, we did a partnership with Weatherford ISD to teach high school students what it's like to be in the fire service. So with that, if you have any questions, and we gained our 3 new firefighters, so ladder truck's been rolling really good. We haven't had any more issues with it, and it's in service.
How did the service work at the middle school fire?
Very well. Very well. The firefighters were busy.
Was that the first time it was deployed?
That was the first big commercial that it was deployed to. So, and it did great.
Was it the only ladder truck on scene?
It was the only ladder truck on scene.
What's your current shift construct? Is it 24 on, 48 off?
24 on, 48 off. We've got 3 shifts, so 3 firefighters.
Yep.
During the daytime operations, you have 3 firefighters and 3 administration staff.
Is that commensurate with other departments adjacent to us, or do they work 48, 72?
I think some of them are transitioning to the 48-96.
48,
So 2 days on and 4 days off. It's kind of mixed reviews by the firefighters as to whether or not they like it or not.
I ask, right, because I'm worried about attrition and morale, and if that works for families, and so if that's something that I think we could do with our manning, right, or your manning,
Yeah.
if that's what you deem necessary.
We've
Just wanted to
kinda-
know, just for,
We've kind of kicked it around, and it's mixed reviews.
Okay.
And so it's kind of, if they say, hey, let's do this, I'll be more than happy to look at it.
sounds good.
So,
Thanks.
absolutely. Any other questions?
Any questions for Chief? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and we are now to mayor and council member comments. I have no comments, so unless I don't like something you'll say, then I'll comment. Any comments from?
Not tonight.
All right, okay. City manager comments.
Well, I've been told to be brief, so I'll be brief. We're, just like everybody else, we'll probably have Omicron or COVID or whatever you want to call this flu bug is running through our ranks. In fact, I have yet to have a full staff meeting because I've had everybody out at least for 1 week or so. Chief West is out this week, and so our thoughts are certainly with her. I think she's recovering fine. We probably need to pray for James as well. So yeah, we're kind of adapting and overcoming a little bit. We did hire the building official. He will be coming on board February the 14th. We look forward to doing that. Jamie, who was with court, is going to transition over into the permit tech. And so she has done a great job of transitioning over there. And so, we're just trying to see if we can get everybody healthy for 5 straight days. That would be an accomplishment for 2022, so.
Any updates on renovation of the city hall for?
We did have a contractor come in, and He did provide us with some information. I think we probably need to look at the bid a little bit closer. It was to make some improvements to this room, and then make some improvements to the offices a little bit. We've got some personnel geography to kind of figure out before we pull the trigger on that. We did get a quote for new carpet throughout the building. It was $17,000. We think we can probably come in a little less, or find something else, or get Eric to lay tile, but we are in the process of getting some information. The two holdups that we have, obviously, is once we start conversion of this, where are we going to hold council meetings? And that is something that the mayor is still working on. We think we've got a couple of places identified that said they would, but I think the mayor wants to probably flesh out a few more. And so that's the biggest concern, is where we're going to hold council meetings. I'm curious to see how court does tomorrow over the public safety building as to how much volume we're going to need for that facility. It's real easy to say, hey, y'all can meet there, second and fourth Tuesday. But if I need it for court on a Wednesday afternoon and so on and so forth, that may change things up a little bit.
All right. Any other questions for Brian? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Motion, second?
Second.
All right, motion second. All in favor? We are adjourned.